The jaws of time are gobbling the days faster than I could possibly comprehend, which means it's time for another TBR. Welcome to July and all the books that I'm hoping to get to this month. My TBRs each month seem to be growing every single time until I'm at a point where it's just not possible to read all the books that I want to read each month, but I'm still going to put them all on there because I'm nothing if not an optimist. Either that or I just really overestimate what I'm actually capable of doing. Regardless, I have a hefty TBR this month once again. So let's start with the carryover. I'll be reading A Dark and Hollow Star by Ashley Shuttleworth. This one is an urban fantasy with fairies. I started this in June. I didn't get very far into it. I'm only on page 101, so I'll be carrying this on into July. Moving on to my book clubs and challenge reads and all that fun stuff. The regular buzzword challenge is for punctuation in the title, and I have two options right now, so I might be going with The Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. This has a comma in the title right up there. This is, I think, actually the fourth book in the Wayfarer series, but this is a series of interconnected standalones, so they can be read in any order from what I've heard. I don't actually know what this one is about individually, but I did read the first book a few months ago and loved it, so I can't wait to carry on with this series. Either this one or Chain Gang All-Stars is my other option. That one has a hyphen in the title. That one is my first priority, but only if the library hold comes in within a reasonable time frame for the month. If it doesn't, then I'll pick up the Becky Chambers one instead. The buzzword covers challenge this month is technology on the cover, so I'm going to be going with Love in Focus. This one is a sapphic contemporary romance, and there's a camera on the cover, so that works out well for the challenge. And it says it's a second chance rom-com, which sounds great to me. Second chance is hit or miss. I often like it, but I find it can very easily be done poorly, so we'll see how this one goes. Cozy Quill's book club pick for July is For Whom the Bell Tolls by Jaysea Lynn. I don't know much about the synopsis for this one, aside from the fact that this is a 700-page book, which is wild for a book club pick. And apparently it's not that cozy, but it has a cozy feel to it despite the actual plot not being cozy, so we'll see how this one goes. And I know it has to do with hell, like being in hell, so I don't know, it sounds cool to me. Looking forward to trying it out. But honestly, with the book being this big, if I don't like it pretty much immediately, I will swiftly DNF. I am not committing to 700 pages for a book that I only kind of like. So hopefully I end up loving it, because I'm going to be very hard on this book. The in-person book club that I'm part of this month, we're reading When the Moon Hits Your Eye by John Scalzi. And this one is a speculative novel about what would happen if the moon became a piece of cheese. It sounds stupid, and I'm here for that. And then recently, my friend started a book club called Books, Babes, and the Revolution, which will be largely focused on nonfiction, which is great because I have a goal to read more nonfiction this year. And our first book is going to be Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde. This one is a collection of essays on queer feminism. The author's name is definitely familiar, but I don't know any of their work, so this will be my first time reading anything by them, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think we're having our first, like, halfway checkpoint meeting in like 2 days, so I do have to start that today. And then finally for the challenges, a new round of Goodreads challenges were just dropped today. There are only 2 posted so far, the rest remain a mystery for later. One of the challenges is to read a book that has been a most read book for previous challenges. I haven't decided which one I'm going to go with yet. I have a good list here. I'll probably do Everything is Tuberculosis, which is a word that I've never said out loud until now, and that took me like 5 tries, and that was close enough. This is a nonfiction by John Green, who's an author that I love and have not read a single thing by in many, many years. So I'm looking forward to that one. But the other ones on my list are Babel, The Poppy War, One Dark Window, Peril of the Sour, Incidents Around the House, I'm Glad My Mom Died, Green Lights, The Service Berry, and The Body Keeps the Score. Those are my options. I'll pick one of them. No clue which one yet, but I have some good options. And then the other challenge is Poolside Puzzlers, which is all about mysteries and thrillers, which I am not a fan of. So the only ones that sounded kind of interesting to me were Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. If I'm gonna read a mystery, I do enjoy when the main character is an old lady. That's great to me. So either that one or All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I'm not really interested in the plot of this one, but I've heard amazing things about this author, so I figured this might be a good chance to give them a try. The sun is all over the place today. Can you stay? And then for some content that I have planned this month, for Backlist Bash, I don't really know what I'm planning on doing for Backlist Bash yet this month. I think I might do Skyward, this month by Brandon Sanderson. That's currently the oldest book on my TBR, so I would get the most points out of that one. I might also do A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer, and maybe The Conductors by Nicole Glover. That might be a good option. I'm kind of feeling The Girl from Shadow Springs by Ellie Cypher. I think this is more of a wintry book, but I weirdly like reading wintry books in the middle of summer. It just feels correct. Don't know why. So that one could also be a good option, but that I'll figure out more so in the moment. I have a couple episodes of Page to Screen that I would like to do. That's a series that I recently started where I read a book and then watch the movie or TV show right afterwards. I have episode 2 coming out shortly. I don't know if it'll be before or after this video, but at some point you'll see it. But I also would like to do Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I have already watched this movie. I watched the movie first. I know, I'm terrible. But I loved the movie and I never would have wanted to read this book had I not watched the movie first, so it's okay. But I now have the book and I'm really looking forward to reading it, so I'm hoping to do that this month. And then again, another one where I've already watched the movie, but I wouldn't have ever heard about this book if I hadn't watched the movie first, but that one is Spaceman of Bohemia. This movie is starring Adam Sandler and it was incredible. It made me bawl my eyes out. It was so good and I'm very much looking forward to reading this book as well. But that one will also hopefully be read this month. I've already had to renew it twice, so this needs to get read now. And then I have a bunch of sequels that I want to get to. One of my biggest, if not my biggest goal for this year is to keep the list of ongoing series to a minimum. I'm epically failing at that due to Backless Bash, but I am fighting for my life trying to keep up with all the series that I'm starting. So every month I'm adding on a whole bunch of sequels. One of the ones that I'm hoping to get to is book 2 of the Archive, but it's called Unbound, I think. Yeah, Unbound by VE Schwab. I read the first book, I think, was that like 2 months ago maybe, and it was fine. I didn't love it, but I liked it enough to read the sequel. It's only a duology, so I might as well just finish it out. Plus I do want to one day have read every single book by this author, so I have to read it eventually anyways. Speaking of VE Schwab, I would also like to get to Vengeful this month, the sequel to Vicious, which I also read a few months ago and loved it. This is, I think, the 3rd month in a row of putting this on the TBR, and maybe this month will be the month where it's read. We'll find out. And I'm going to embarrass myself here because The Faithless Hawk is once again on this TBR. This book has been on every TBR since February. I've had it taken out from the library over ebook and audiobook and just keep not reaching for it, but maybe this month, this might be the month, we'll find out. Same with Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. The first book I read in January for Backless Bash. Book 2, I think I read like 3 months later, so maybe in like March or so, and book 3 has been on every TBR since then. So fingers crossed that this is the month at long last. And then last up for the sequels, I would like to get to at least book 2 of Binti, preferably just the rest of this omnibus. Considering this entire omnibus is smaller than an average book, could very easily get through all of this, I just haven't gotten around to it. So I would like to get to at least book 2, but again, preferably just the rest of this. It's like that was book 1, so that's all that I have left, which is totally doable if I just actually do it. And finally, I have some library holds coming in soon. One of them is A Shot in the Dark by Victoria Lee, which I actually started this morning. This one is a queer romance about a woman who has a one-night stand and then the next day finds out that this guy is actually her new professor. And that obviously makes things very complicated. So I'm only about 15% of the way through it right now, give or take, and so far having a great time, so I can't wait to see where it goes. And the other one is The Teller of Small Fortune. This one is a cozy fantasy, but also I've heard it's kind of sad too, which I love. If a book can make me cry, I'm all for it. But yeah, that's the TBR. Who knows how many of these are actually going to be read. I could read a whole bunch of random other things that were not listed, because that's just how it be for a mood reader. But let me know what you're planning on reading in the month of July, or if you've read any of these books, let me know as well. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys later on.